I used to think high-value people were the loudest in the room, the flashiest, the ones with the most followers or the biggest bank accounts. I was dead wrong. Intro story, personal encounter. Last month, I met a guy at a coffee shop. Quiet, unassuming, plain black t-shirt, but there was something about him, something magnetic. The barista lit up when he ordered. Strangers struck up conversations with him, and me, I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to stay in his presence. Realization moment. That's when it hit me. This was real high-value behavior. Not the Instagram highlight reel, not the rented cars or flexing for the algorithm. This was the kind ancient philosophers wrote about, the kind that inspires respect without even trying. If you recognize even 3 of the traits I'm about to break down, you're already operating on a level most people never reach. And if you don't yet, stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to develop them. Trait 1. You control the room's temperature. Here's what most people don't get about truly high-value individuals. They don't react to the energy in the room, they create it. Walk into a tense meeting, they bring calm. A dull party, they bring life. Chaos, they become the eye of the storm. It's not about being loud or dominant, it's about emotional regulation. The kind that subtly influences everyone without forcing anything. I learned this watching my mentor during a crisis at work. While others panicked, he sat back, took a breath, and calmly said, "All right, let's figure this out, step by step." His calm was contagious. Within minutes, chaos turned into focus. The Stoics called this the discipline of desire. Mastering your internal state so deeply that outside noise can't shake you. High-value people aren't emotional thermometers. They don't reflect the room's mood. They're thermostats. They set the temperature. Trait 2, your silence speaks louder than words. In a world obsessed with noise, constant opinions, and endless talking, silence is rare and powerful. High value. People understand this. Every word either adds value or takes it away. There is no neutral. I saw this at a heated family dinner. Everyone yelling, chaos. Then my uncle, quiet all evening, leans in and says one sentence. What outcome do we actually want here? Boom. Silence. The room shifted. The conversation changed. That's the power of intentional speech. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be like the rocky headland against which the waves break. It stands firm. Silence becomes your strength. You give others room to reveal themselves. And when you speak, people listen because they know you don't waste words. Low-value people are noise machines. High-value people, signal generators. And in a world drowning in distraction, attention is the ultimate currency, and silence is how you earn it." Trait 3. You've mastered productive suffering. This one's going to sound strange, but stay with me. High-value people don't avoid suffering. They transform it. Most people treat pain like an emergency, something to escape. High-value people treat it like a teacher, something to learn from. I knew a woman who had every reason to be bitter. Divorce, business failure, health scare. But instead of collapsing, she said, "Every time life knocks me down, I get up knowing something I didn't know before." That's not just resilience, that's productive suffering. The Stoics had a name for this, amor fati, the love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as part of your growth. When you stop seeing suffering as a curse and start using it as fuel, you become unshakable. And people feel that. They trust you, they admire you, because they know you won't fold when life gets heavy. So if you control the emotional temperature, if your silence speaks louder than noise, if you use pain as a tool instead of running from it, you're already ahead of 99% of people. And if not, you've just seen the blueprint. True high value isn't about attention, it's about presence. It's not about showing off, it's about showing up, calm, clear, and unshakably you. Trait 4. Your validation comes from one source only. Here's where most people get confidence completely wrong. They think high-value people don't care what others think. But the truth, high-value people care deeply. They've just chosen whose opinion matters, and that source is themselves. Not in an arrogant way, in a grounded, self-aware way. They've developed such a clear sense of their own values that outside approval becomes background noise. I have a friend who once turned down a big promotion, more money, better title, more status. Everyone thought he was crazy, but his response floored me. I'd rather be unemployed and respect myself than have a job that makes me someone I don't recognize. That's real confidence. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was literally born a slave, said it best: "No one can harm you without your permission." High-value people live by an internal scorecard. They ask themselves, am I living according to my values? Not, will people approve of this? And when your self-respect becomes your main currency, something powerful happens. You stop performing confidence and you start embodying it. People can feel the difference and they're drawn to it. Trait 5, you practice strategic indifference. This is one of the most misunderstood Stoic concepts. Strategic indifference isn't about being cold or detached. It's about caring intelligently. It's learning to invest your emotional energy only where it can create real value. I used to get worked up over everything: politics, traffic, rude people, things completely out of my control. I was constantly drained. Then I met someone who embodied strategic indifference. Bad traffic? He shrugged and queued up a podcast. Rude service? He stayed calm and solved the issue. People gossiping? He didn't even react. He told me, I only have so much energy. I'm going to spend it where it makes a difference. High-value people have emotional discipline. They don't waste energy fighting battles that don't matter. They choose their focus and their peace intentionally. Trait 6. Your presence makes others better. This is a trait nobody talks about, but it's one of the most powerful. Truly high-value people are human upgrades, not because they preach or perform, because they inspire others by who they are. I have a mentor like this. After every conversation, I want to read more. Think deeper, work harder. He doesn't give advice unless you ask. He simply lives with such integrity, it makes you want to raise your standards just by being around him. The Stoics had a word for this: sympathia, the idea that we're all connected. Your behavior ripples outward. High-value people take that ripple seriously. Ask yourself, when you walk into a room, do others feel more grounded? Do they stand a little taller? Do they leave more connected to their own potential? This isn't about perfection, it's about growth. And when you grow, you give others permission to grow with you. Trait 7. You've transcended the need to win. This is the rarest trait of all. High-value people don't need to be right. They don't need to win arguments. They've moved beyond the ego games and tapped into something bigger: truth. I watched it happen during a business negotiation. While everyone tried to dominate and push their ideas, one person kept asking, what would actually work best for everyone involved? He wasn't trying to win. He was trying to create value. Guess who everyone wanted to work with after? That's the power of preferred indifference, knowing that winning is nice, but not essential. What is essential? Excellence, integrity, long-term impact. When you no longer need to win, you become unbeatable. Not because you overpower others, but because you've mastered the only competition that matters. The one with your former self. Start with one trait. Pick the one that hit hardest and focus on it for the next 30 days. Not everything at once, just one. The Stoics believed in gradual, sustainable progress. So do I. If something in this video called you out or called you up, drop the word undeniable in the comments. Let's see how many of us are walking silently in our power. without even realizing we're already high-value men. And if you're on the journey, comment on the path. This isn't just a comment section, it's a brotherhood. And I'll be down there reading every single one.